semester, we talked about hydraulic fracturing, the advantages and disadvantages of natural gas. You're going to be asked to compare and contrast both of these types of energy sources.
This is like water resources.
This is the traditional way.
Okay, there you go.
What do you mean, better for who?
Better for the people.
It's a lot more expensive, so it's definitely not better for people that are trying to make money. So we did a Socratic seminar, which is a lot more, the hard science skills are not as enforced. Within a Socratic seminar, it's more critical thinking and evaluation. In this particular activity, the students are actually required to think about how things work together, how they connect, and physically how they move.
Water and a bunch of other chemicals are pumped down through here, and then it's pumped horizontally, and then it cracks up the shale, and then natural gas is released, and then they take it back up. But sometimes what contaminates the water nearby, and it releases gas, which is also not really the safest thing.
It's better than oil, because oil, when it's burned, it produces a lot of CO2 gas, and natural gas produces less CO2 than oil does. And also there's like large reservoirs of natural gas in the US, and it would decrease our dependence on foreign oil, and it would make it easier for us to supply ourselves with our own energy.
I don't know, I think in a way it's like a good thing, but then like it's hurting so many people, like so many people could get sick from this. So then, I don't know, I feel like it's a bad thing because I feel people's health comes first and then comes like, money.
So some of the students are choosing to show how natural gas forms underneath shale, how that pressure builds up. Some students are showing specifically how drilling occurs, how there is going to be vertical drilling and then horizontal drilling underneath the shale. And so using stop motion, they have to physically manipulate objects to really get them to think about the processes that happen. And then they can use that to really, when we go in to do our next Socratic seminar, they can understand a little bit more about, okay, so we turn on the lights and we have electricity, but where's that electricity coming from and what has to happen? What are all of the steps that have to happen before we get the energy from a rock of coal to our actual light switch? This kind of slows down that process and gets them to really think about the resources required to get the resource in the first place.
We're going to try to show the distance between Arlington and the Marcellus Shale, and we're going to do a Google Earth tour, and we're making a movie, and we're going to show how far the Marcellus Shale is from Arlington.
It's good because it supplies like our country with oil and gas, like stuff to use, but it's bad because it like harms people and like basically hurts nature.
Vertical drilling is one way of getting natural gas out of the ground. You drill a deep well, then pump the gas up. Its advantage is it's not very dangerous, but disadvantage is you cannot drill deeper, so once you run out of natural gas, you have to move the well to a new location. Horizontal drilling is a way of getting natural gas out of the ground that's very safe. You pump it through and then you can reuse the well time after time. Fracking or hydrofracking is a version that isn't very safe. You pump explosions and water down and then the natural gas comes up. It can be very dangerous.
The drilling rig is lowering a drill into a deep shale basin. Once the drill reaches its desired location, a perforating gun is fired into the shale. This makes cracks in the shale to let the gas out. Then water, sand, and chemicals are pumped into the cracks, removed, and the natural gas is free to come up the pipe. Even in the city, there's water underneath the ground. This is the people's drinking water. There's concern that the fracking fluid is contaminating this water. There's also concern that there's toxic vapors that are contaminating the atmosphere.
Energy sources for the future are a huge problem right now because we need to find an alternative energy source or we're going to run out. I mean, it's good to know about all of the alternatives that we have.